I hope that wasn't you, by the way. Well, hello. It's been several months now since the last video of this kind that I did, and well, quite a bit's happened on the global front since then. We're now at war with Syria, as you know. There's been several terrorist attacks. The most notable was the one in Paris, where many people have lost their lives. And the agenda, the New World Order agenda, continues unabated, really. The response that I had to the video that I did, the last one, which was called A Warning of Things to Come, was very positive. And at the time of recording this, we've had over 1,400 hits on YouTube and no negative comments at all. In regard to the response that I hoped it would generate from certain organisations and individuals, well, there hasn't been a response. It's been zero, which is kind of what I expected. But it set me thinking, you know, about organisations as such, because if you say something that an organisation doesn't agree with or doesn't like, if you speak the truth as you believe it to be, and they don't agree with it, they tend to do one of two things. Well, first of all, they close ranks, and then they either go down the route of attacking you, making you out to be some kind of a clown or a fool, or incompetent, or a troublemaker, or they might even say you've been radicalised, you know, that sort of nonsense. Or they ignore you totally and assume this air of superiority, because after all, they can't all be wrong, can they? Because they are all powerful, and you're just an individual, so what do you know? And I've found this to be the case right from the top, if you like, from government down through corporations, organisations of all kind, spiritual organisations included, and certainly in response to the video that I did, well, silence everywhere, which, as I say, is what I kind of expected, because I'm asking people to think outside the box in many regards, many respects, and it's challenging their comfortable world, it's challenging their belief system. And as I said in that earlier video, it's the elephant in the room, and they don't want to see it, they don't want to acknowledge it. And if you don't acknowledge something, then it's not going to change, it's just going to continue to grow, continue to expand, and eventually it will get so powerful, so large, so unstoppable, that it will actually threaten your own belief system. It will threaten your world, it will threaten your livelihood. And this New World Order agenda that I've spoken about, and many other people have spoken about, those who are thinkers, who are enlightened to an extent, it's everywhere. It's all around us. It grows by the day. There's more and more chemtrail spraying, more and more restrictions on freedom, more and more CCTV cameras, more and more Satanism being pushed in our faces, more and more control mechanisms, and of course all of this leading up to the implanting of human microchips, which is on the cards, has been for a long time now, along with a reduction in the human population, and we're talking here of massive reductions. And this has already started, by the way. This war on common decent people has already begun, and it's being pushed forward through vaccinations, through big pharma, through GMO crops, Monsanto being the key player in that, through austerity measures which are cutting back on services that we all need and rely on. And the list is endless. It's all around. You can't fail to notice it. So unless we start to do something collectively to challenge it, to oppose it, then how is it ever going to change? How is it going to be stopped? Now some people say, well, Spirit have a plan. The spirit world have a plan. Now I questioned in that last video whether Spirit knew about it, and I suggested that, well, of course they must know about it. They have to know about it. But you have to realise that Spirit per se is a collective of many millions of individuals and groups, and they don't all share the same opinion. They don't all have the same awareness. They don't all have the same views. Just as on Earth there are different groups, different organisations, different individuals with their own ideas and belief systems, that doesn't suddenly change when you pass over. So there are different levels of awareness. And you know, I don't like to just call it the spirit world, because it's another frequency, it's another dimension, one of countless dimensions in which we exist. And when we leave this dimension, which we call the earth, and this physical body as we refer to it, when we leave this dimension and our consciousness finds itself on a different frequency, we don't suddenly become all-knowing. We carry forward with us the same personality, for a while at least, and the same level of understanding and conscious expression. So it's all well and good people going to mediums and mediums giving demonstration after demonstration, sitting after sitting, to prove life after death. And if you want proof, you will get it, because there are some great mediums around capable of giving wonderful evidence. But where is that information coming from? It's coming from those that work with the medium and the small group of people that surround them. And their aim is to give comfort to the bereaved, to bring knowledge and information through of loved ones that have passed. And they do that very well. But it doesn't mean to say that they, in the spirit world, or the medium, have any knowledge, any more knowledge of agendas than they did when they were on the earth. Why should they? There are, though, those more evolved souls, both here on earth and in the next frequency, the next dimension. I don't like to call it the afterlife, because it's only life. There is no afterlife. It's all life. But there are those that have knowledge and awareness of what's going on. But can they be heard? Can they make themselves be heard? Is on listening to them? Are there the mediums through which they can put this information? And even if they can, what can they do, or what are they doing to stop this agenda of enslavement of the many and destruction of this earth by the few greedy, mega rich in material terms individuals who want to create this Orwellian global nightmare for what is left of humanity and this decimated earth, so that they can enjoy the pickings of whatever is left. That's what their aim is. So there are those in spirit. There have to be those in spirit that are aware of this, but not everyone in spirit. There are many who are ignorant of it, as there are many who are ignorant on this earth, because they haven't sufficiently developed the vision and insight and spiritual awareness to allow them to know about it. Now, those that are perpetrating this, those who are the masterminds behind it, know this. And they know that if they keep people in a state of fear, in a state of anxiety and stress, and divide people and distract them through various means, that they can coordinate globally this plan to bring in this new world order, which is exactly what's happening and has been for a long time now. So spirit know about it. Many people here and many in the afterlife don't know about it. Do you know about it? If you do, what are you doing about it? The only way, and people have asked me this, how do we stop it if it's really happening? The only way to stop it, the only way is to raise our level of consciousness, raise awareness, and begin to think differently, act differently, behave differently. Realise the oneness of all life. Realise that we're all in this together, that we don't have enemies. The only enemies are those who are creating this ignorance. Ignorance is the great enemy, and ignorance takes many forms, from simple things right down to pure evil. That is the enemy of truth. That's what we have to oppose. And if we change our thinking, if we change ourselves, if we change our beliefs, we can change this world. But ignoring this, burying our heads in the sand, doing nothing, pretending it doesn't exist and hoping that it'll go away, ain't going to get us anywhere. I'm not out to attack anyone. I'm not out to make enemies or to criticise, but I don't want my children and my grandchildren growing up in this kind of a world, and I'm not going to sit around doing nothing. You can either listen, think for yourselves, find out yourselves, do the research, or you can bury your head in the sand. I know what I'm going to do. Have a think about what you're going to do.